Hello, welcome back to another video. Still continue working on tactical and unlocking the heroic version of the Bolt Rifle. Jumping straight into the stratagem missions. It was a choice between Termination, Ballistic, Engine, because I was not going to do Obelisk. Uh, kind of wanted to fight Tyranids. And I did my first jump cut right there, straight from the menu, and I cut out the walk from the equipment armory scene. And straight here, over here. We'll save some time. And I just wanted to do a quick little update because I'm a little proud of it here. And that should be popping up now. And look at there. I got a 3-man squad going so far. And I'm trying to stick to the theme for the colors. I'm using the corn red on the guns, gold Achilles, and, you know, designs like that. And yeah, just need to paint up some heads and get the shoulder pads on the two new guys and on to the next one. And I'm getting it down to about 4 hours per Marine. I know that's not fast, but I have a system down now, and hopefully with that system, as I start improving my skill and just being more confident with my brushstrokes, I'll be able to get that down to like 2.5 hours. Because remember, my goal is to actually play this game on the tabletop, and you see all the time that there's a difference between painting for you know aesthetics and then painting to get the army on the. That's where I'm aiming. I want to put these Marines down on the ground and have them, shooting at Tyranids or Chaos Space Marines or whoever my opponent might be. So I don't want to spend too much time trying to perfect every edge highlight, and I'm just not there yet. So maybe one day when I'm already playing and I want to perfect them, I'll do that. But I want to play first. So yeah, my results, they're fairly consistent. They're not exactly like the box art, which I was what I'm aiming for, and I don't have that brush control yet, and I'm working on it. And you get a perfect stroke every now and again, and it's just a really good feeling, dopamine hit. But jumping into the gameplay here, I'm using the Tactical Marine, Heroic Sword, Heroic Bolt Pistol, and now the Relic Tier Bolt Rifle, and I'm using the increased ammo version. And I also unlocked some of the perks that came along with that, and I picked just 10% increase more base damage and less spread from hip firing. In my last video, I said I use the bolt carbine a lot when I play the assault class or the vanguard, and I really like to hit fire a lot. Get in the enemy space, hit fire, and just when you're that close, headshots aren't that hard to beam. And the stratagem for this mission was, without performing a execute in over, I believe, 30 seconds, you'll start losing your armor and health. So you have to kind of constantly get executes, but you'll get health back every time you get one. So this mission wasn't too hard, playing on normal mode, and we got the Carnifex right away. Trying to stay in his face, but look at that. I just got annihilated by his shotgun attack. Got the good parry off. And we're just working here in the bullet banner, in the bulwark, hip firing, spamming fire, constant source of damage. And, I'm pretty proud of those blocks. I am used to the fencing swords, and I know the heroic chain axe has a balanced parry window, and so I'm getting. I feel a little good about my parries in this mission, and yeah. Going back to my Space Marine Intercessor squad, I have 8 more to go, because remember, one of those Marines is a free unit. And I'm trying to challenge myself to get all of them done in the next 2 weeks, or less actually. I got 12 days, because there is a combat patrol tournament going on, and I believe I'll just use one of my credit cards to buy the Hellblaster squad and the Stern Guard veterans, Blade Brother veterans, Stern Guard, Stone Guard. I gotta read the box art, and I need to buy a Gravis Captain, and if I do that, I believe I will have the combat patrol for Dark Angels, the box, kit version, the unit list, and I want to try and get into that league, the combat patrol tournament coming up, and you get 5 matches against other players, and somehow, some way, there's points allocated. I've never played a match, so whoever has the most points at the end of the tournament wins a prize. What that is, I don't know, but this is an expensive hobby. A lot of boxes are in the $60 range. Some of the individual things are about $35 and up. And the combat patrol itself is $170 last time I checked. And I'm going to end up paying more than that because I'm buying everything piecemeal. The Dark Angels box combat patrol is not available at the store. And they could order it for you, and that way you could receive it in store instead of getting it off of Amazon or something like that. And that's kind of where I want to go. I want to, spend my money at the store. I'm very excited that it's so close, and I want to support it. And I don't want to order anything off of Amazon unless I absolutely have to. And so the combat patrol, they were saying that maybe if I wait another week, they'll just have one in stock. But I'm kind of committed to the idea of just buying the Hellblaster squad and the Blade Guard veterans and the Gravis Captain on my own. I will end up with a little bit more units than I can actually play with on the combat patrol, but I'm fine with that because eventually I would like to build like a 1,000 or a 2,000 point army. When I say I'm bitten by the bug here with this painting stuff, I mean it. Yeah, it's a good way to spend my time. I'm a retired individual, and I have a lot of spare time, and so it's good to see how something to show for it. Show for your 2-3 hours of effort, even if it's something as mundane as a mini. Other hobbies I've jumped into is like every other midlife crisis guy is woodworking and barbecuing. But there's only so much steak to go around, and my family loves it, but it's not an everyday thing for us. So birthday parties and stuff like that, yeah. And the woodworking, right now my garage shop is completely overtaken with decorations and other stuff that we've collected over the past couple of years. And every time I clean it up and build a new shed to store my wife's decorations and keepsakes and other things that she's picked up along the way, those fill up, those sheds fill up, and the overflow ends up in the garage. And I'm not complaining too much. There's not a lot of woodworking projects that I want to get into at the moment anyways. I kind of only built stuff that I needed, so my first huge woodworking project was a shed, can you believe that? And then a table, and then I just made tables for a little bit. And this has absolutely nothing to do with Space Marine 2. So getting back to this gameplay here, yeah, it's a standard mission. This is actually a launch mission. I believe anybody's played this game has played this mission before, so it's one of the better missions in my opinion. It's an objective-based ending where you just have to make sure the train launches. It's fun. The enemy density is nice. And Tyranids are always a good time. So I was not struggling too much with this, and you'll see me take damage, and I feel like most of that is due to just quick little mishaps, and or the damage coming from the not having an execute in between objective objectives. And so I saw that there was I heard the sound, looked around, and I see that he was already fighting my teammates. And this was just silly for me. I should have stopped trying to shoot him and started using chainsaw right away. And then I get up here, and I believe I get hit by that sniper, and I don't like not right now. Oh no, it's actually okay. There it is. It's all that extra the devourers that these guys are shooting. They will chew you up. So I'm meleeing this guy down for the execute, get some health back and some armor, and then I'll also turn off the effect where you're taking damage for not getting a execute kill. Well, I took a peek up there. So I remember, there's a few times where you can actually see an enemy or two. Get some early shots while the bridge is building up. There were some enemies there, but it was just these tiny little strings. And I noticed there was more red barrels and gas tanks and other hazards on the stage. I don't remember there being that many on a normal basis. Oh man, I was actually kind of happy about that shot too, where I nailed him right there. I felt like I just snapped to the headshot.
This squall is as harmful as a summer breeze.
I'm looking at this Space Marine here, and I'm noticing that the vents at the top of the backpack can be gold plated. That's in the game. That as far as I know, the color schemes are official. Build-ups. Nothing's too crazy. They let you go and make your Marine your way, but I believe a lot of the preset stuff is which I use here. It's just presets. When it came to gold, I picked gold as like the secondary color, but it picks where to put that for you, and I believe they kind of line that up with official color schemes. And so I'm thinking, maybe my shoulder pads should be edged in gold as well. That would save me a lot of time actually, because edge highlighting in between the shoulders edges, there's a if you look at the gold rim there of the shoulder pads, there's a top and a bottom to that, and if you try to edge highlight both of them, that space is really tight on the model. I'm using a size 00 brush, so it's not the brush's fault, because the guides that I follow, they're using size 1s and size 2s to do their edge highlighting in some of them. And, I got a 00, so it's not the size of the brush that's making that hard. It's just skill at this point. I do not know. I did not use my Auspex scan right here. Ton of warriors on the field right here. It would have been perfect. And by the time I realized that, it was already too late. But this crowd of enemies was already thinned out, and then it would have been a waste. And then we have some more warriors coming in. But same thing, it's only 2 or 3, and I just felt like it wouldn't be good. I was spamming the jump button there. I really was the dog gun. Oh, I guess I saw 2 more coming. Use the tactical. Good blocks. That was a desperate execute. I needed it so bad because of how much contested health I had. And I was focusing blocking here. I saw both of these enemies swinging, and I was more concerned with the guy with the whip here and just getting the parry off on his second attack, because I'm not sure if it's that attack or another one, but I know they can yank your feet out from underneath. and I didn't want that to happen to me.
Swapping magazine. Medical supplies over here.
Commentated organs transfer. 3639 loading complete. Manifest updated.
You know, I took the extra bolt rifle uh, ammo version of this weapon, and I feel like it's not necessary. The fire rate really doesn't call for it, and so I think the next time I use this weapon, I'll probably go for the accuracy version and see how that treats me. It could be just this mission and this enemy type, but I am hip firing here, and I don't ever find myself using more than 10 to 15 shots. In a lot of engagements, so I don't think the big 60 round mag is necessary. Picked up the med kit here only after checking that my teammates don't need them or already have them, and they do, so I picked it up and made the selfish decision there to take the med kit. I'm just admiring the chain axe here for a second. It's it reminds me of those like Repentia. Is it the Sisters Repentia? You know, they have a great sword version of chain axes that are almost like as tall as them, if not taller. And I believe that version of the chain axe that those sisters use is also double edged like that with the teeth on both sides. Because I know the standard Space Marine chain axe has like a blade guard on one side, where the teeth come in and out of. I went straight for this group of enemies. I ignored the console. I figured my teammates would get the mission rolling. And I gotta tell you, when it comes to the Tyranid missions, I think I'm also gonna try and jump into Absolute as well, or at least the hard mode strategies, which I think is coded for Absolute tier. And the reason being is I'm feeling good about it. Is it perfect? No, but you know, I'm getting parries and I'm doing good damage. I got the heroic version of the weapon now, and so if I do a Tyranid mission, I think I'm gonna jump into Absolute and see how that treats me. Hopefully, I don't have to record 3 or 4 games in a row just to post a video, but that's what I was waiting for on this side as well. I wanted to be able to push that switch right away because, believe it or not, I've failed a few missions where it's not the enemies, it's just the fact that me or the teammates were so involved with just slaying that I forgot to go kill the Tyranids on the side of the train there. I believe you can just shoot into the crowd or throw grenades or anything like that, but I'm not sure if you have to use the train. I could not get a break on this guy here. You know, I was dodging through that wave attack. I believe I dodged too early or too late, but got hit. But every time I wanted to aim at this guy and take advantage of my auspex, either he started using that ball attack on me, or I had to dodge or parry a gaunt. So I felt like I did no good damage to that guy. Killing some ammo, grab that guy, aiming down sights, still missing all my shots. Maybe I should just stick to hip fire. So The reason I ran over here, even though there wasn't the objective marker, is because I saw that the lines didn't have the electricity going through them anymore.
You will need to keep close proximity to the charging station until the reset is complete.
You know, the rest of this mission kind of just plays out normally, so I think there's too much commentary left for me to do. You know, so maybe I'll just let you watch the last couple minutes without me trying to fill the air with the sound of my voice. But I plan on updating these videos with little pictures of my soon-to-be Space Marine squad,
You are fertilizer.
Intercessor squad, and so I think that's give me a little motivation to always have progress. That way, when I post another video, I can post my what phase of development we are. So, thank you for tuning in, anybody who's out there, and I will see you in the next one.
Charging system detected. Engine seer requesting to perform rites of restoration.
Rearming. Alien trespasser sighted. Tyranid artillery in sight. Changing magazine. Injecting stims.
Engine charge to 75%. Dispatcher. The engine is charged and prepared for departure.
Deploy immediately.
Yes, brother.
One outbound. Detonation in 5. Brace for shockwave.